On this week's episode of Tuesday Tailgate, we have Montgomery County High School football scores from October the 9th, Meet the Gov segment with Austin Peay quarterback Chris Parson, and everybody's favorite segment, You Got Cooked. Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of Tuesday Tailgate. I'm your host, Clayton Carroll. We've got an action-packed show this week, and let's start off with the game of the week from a couple weeks ago, starting with Mason Platsky at Kenwood versus Northeast. Let's see how that game went.
Hey everyone, this is Mason Platsky here at Kenwood High School reporting where the Knights just dominated their opponent, the Northeast Eagles, final score being 24-0 to get the shutout victory. Kenwood dominated on their senior night, shutting out the Northeast Eagles 24-0 in a statement district win. The Knights wasted no time on board as Josiah Brown powered in for a touchdown midway through the first quarter to make it 7-0. On defense, Kenwood came out aggressive. Kristen Simpson snagged an interception, and the Knights delivered a huge stop on fourth down to swing the momentum their way. In the second quarter, Kenwood's offense continued to move the ball efficiently, setting them up for a field goal to extend the lead 10-0 heading into halftime. The Knights defense continued to shine, keeping Northeast dual threat quarterback Jay Green under pressure and limiting the Eagles' run game throughout the half. Coming out of the break, Kenwood wasted no time putting the game out of reach. Jay Davis came in with the pick six early in the third quarter to make the score 17-0. Christian Simpson added to his big night with a rushing touchdown, capping off a dominant performance. From start to finish, Kenwood controlled the tempo on both sides of the ball, forcing multiple turnovers and holding Northeast scoreless to improve to 5-3 on the season and 2-1 on district play. This is Mason Platsky reporting.
Thanks, Mason. Up next, Anna Germano is covering Clarksville Academy versus Donaldson Christian. Let's take a look at that game.
I'm Anna Germano, and I'm here at Clarksville Academy as the Donaldson Christian Academy Wildcats take on the Cougars. DCA was 4-3 coming into the night, and Clarksville Academy was 3-4. Clarksville Academy is yet to win a district game. DCA wasted no time setting the tone. Midway through the first, running back Riley Biddle powered his way into the end zone for a touchdown, putting the Wildcats up 7-0 with 6 minutes and 48 seconds left in the quarter. The Cougars defense tried to find their footing, but DCA controlled the tempo early. After 1 quarter of play, it was 7-0 DCA. The Wildcats kept their foot on the gas. Early in the second, Blake Holton found the end zone on another rushing touchdown, extending DCA's lead 14-0. Clarksville tried to spark some momentum with a bit of trickery. A fake punt by Logan Gibson that converted for a first down and gave the Cougars a much-needed boost. Just as it looked like the Cougars might capitalize, Noah Salvi came up with a huge interception for DCA, flipping the momentum right back. A few plays later, it was Riley Biddle again, breaking through for his second rushing touchdown of the night, making it 20-0 late in the second quarter. Just before halftime, Trey Smith added another interception for DCA's defense, shutting down any chance for the Cougars to score before the break. At halftime, it was all Wildcats, 20-0 DCA. The second half didn't start any better for Clarksville. Wyatt Gray picked off another pass for DCA, setting up the Wildcats with great field position. Quarterback Grayson Srag then connected for a touchdown pass to stretch the lead even further. DCA was firing on all cylinders, offense, defense, and special teams all making plays. By the fourth, DCA showed no signs of slowing down. King Gardner took over the game, scoring a rushing touchdown with just over 5 minutes left to make it 33-0. On the very next series, Gardner made his presence felt on defense, snagging an interception to give DCA the ball right back. And to top off the night, Gardner added another rushing touchdown with just 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining, sealing a statement win for the Wildcats. DCA's defense was the story of the night. Multiple interceptions, consistent pressure, and a complete shutout on the road. The Cougars fought hard but couldn't find the end zone against one of the toughest defenses they've faced all season. The DCA Wildcats improved to 5-3, while the Clarksville Academy Cougars fell to 3-5.
DCA shut out Clarksville Academy 40-0. I'm Anna Germano reporting.
Up next here on Tuesday Tailgate, Paris Mayork covered Montgomery Central and Marshall County. Let's check out that game.
To the Marshall County Tigers here at Montgomery Central in Clarksville, Tennessee. The final score was 51-0. Montgomery Central falls to 1-7, while Marshall County improves to 5-3. The Tigers play Spring Hill next, and the Indians take on West Creek. I'm Paris Mayork reporting live.
Excellent job, Paris. Up next, Nathan Smith headed to the Clarksville High School as Clarksville took on Shelbyville.
The Clarksville High Wildcats hosted the Shelbyville Golden Eagles on Thursday, October 9th. Entering the game, the Wildcats' record was 5-2, and the Golden Eagles were 3-3. The first quarter was a defensive battle, with both teams trading punts and neither side able to break through. Early in the second quarter, Shelbyville Central missed a field goal, giving Clarksville great field position. The Wildcats took advantage when number 7 Jamarcus Watkins cut back across the field for a 9-yard rushing touchdown, putting Clarksville up 6-0 after a missed PAT. A few minutes later, Watkins broke loose again, finding a big hole and racing down the field before getting stopped at the 1-yard line. On the next play, number 0, Avari Galbraith, took the handoff and powered in for the touchdown. Clarksville went for 2 points, and Galbraith ran it in again, giving the Wildcats a 14-0 lead midway through the second quarter. Before halftime, number 2 Joshua Anderson came up big with an interception, and Clarksville carried that 14-0 advantage into the break. Shelbyville showed life in the third quarter. Number 15 Stephen Bobo broke free for a 56-yard rushing touchdown, cutting a lead to 14-6 after a missed extra point. But Clarksville answered early in the fourth as Watkins found the end zone on a 5-yard run to make it 21-6. The Golden Eagles refused to go quietly. Bobo scored again from 45 yards out. Number 31 Robert Bailey added a 13-yard touchdown to put Shelbyville Central within 2 points, 21-19. But the Wildcats put it away late. With just 2 minutes left, Galbraith broke a 29-yard touchdown run, sealing the deal for Clarksville. Anderson capped the night with his second interception to end the game. The Wildcats won 28-19 behind a dominant ground game and clutch defensive plays.
I'm Nathan Smith reporting.
Great win for the Clarksville Wildcats. Up next here on Tuesday Tailgate, we've got to go over some scores for the past weekend here in Montgomery County. As you can see, that game, Clarksville took down the Shelbyville Central 28-19. Rossview got the win against Overton 21-2. You don't see that score much, 21-2. Henry County dominated Northwest 52-7. Kenwood got the win against the Clarksville team Northeast 24-0. Cane Ridge with the win against West Creek 28-3. Marshall County a sounding defeat against Montgomery Central 50-0. Kirkwood defeated Creekwood 35-14. All of those games on Thursday, October the 9th. And on Friday, October the 10th, DCA defeated Clarksville Academy 40-0. Whenever we return here on Tuesday Tailgate, we've got the Meet the Gov segment. Nick Arvin sat down with Austin Peay quarterback Chris Parson. Stay tuned.
From the start of an Austin Peay student's journey, they expect more. They expect to gain real-world experiences to set them apart. So we give it to them. We provide them with the knowledge to become sought-after artists. They realize their work elevates our world. They realize dreams become reality. So when our graduates look back, they'll see it all starts at Austin Peay.
I'm here today with Austin Peay quarterback Chris Parson. Chris, you've had a long journey to get to this point, and just kind of going into your history, into your background, something that's notable, you were the last quarterback commit for legendary head coach Mike Leach at Mississippi State. There was a lot after his passing. You tried to really convince that group of guys to stay with it, to stay at Mississippi State. Could you tell me about Mike Leach and just the impact that he's had on you as not just a player, but also as a man?
Yeah, Mike Leach, very well-known head coach in the college football world, and it was truly an honor to be recruited by him. And I was excited for the opportunity to get the chance to play for him, especially being going to a SEC school. And so it was unfortunate when he passed away. He left a amazing impact on me in the time that we got to know each other, and many other players that I had relationships with at Mississippi State as well. And so my biggest emphasis whenever he had passed away was just making sure the class of 2023 that had committed to Mississippi State, making sure we stuck together. And I remember telling the guys that we were the last class that he recruited, and we should wear that as a badge of honor. And so for me, it'll always be long live Mike Leach, RIP to the Pirate. And I'm thankful that I had an opportunity to build a relationship with him, get recruited by him, and also learn from him for that amount of time. So.
You were very highly touted coming out of high school, out of Brentwood, Tennessee kid. Coming out of a state like this, to be that high ranked, you have to have a certain amount of drive to be able to get to that level, to get to a Mississippi State, to get to SEC football. Yeah. What drives you, Chris? What makes you want to get on the field? What makes you want to face the adversity that you faced throughout your college career and keep going day after day?
Yeah, well, for me personally, I want to be the best version of myself, the best player that I can possibly be. And I've been blessed with great parents and coaches who have pushed me throughout my years of playing football, on and off the field, even without football. And so for me, it's just a constant drive for me, just trying to be the greatest. I want to be the best, and I want to work hard. And in order for me to achieve that goal, I have to apply myself and maximize my talents to the best way that I can. So that's really what drives me every single day. And I'm blessed to be able to wake up every morning and do something that I love in football. And so it's not really hard for me to, go up and work out in the mornings or watch film and do things like that, because I truly love this game and I want to be the best.
So this offseason, you hit the portal from Mississippi State, a bit of a change for you. And for the second time, it's like you're getting recruited again. Yeah. So you meet Jeff Ferris, you and Jeff Ferris talk. Kind of tell me what that was like. Tell me what it was like to get into that portal, what it was like talking to Coach Ferris, and what about this program attracted you to come play at Austin Peay?
Yeah, well, I had a previous relationship with Coach Ferris from when I was younger, in middle school. At the time, he was coaching at Duke University, and I would visit Duke and I would work out at the camps that they hosted in the summertime. And so during that time throughout middle school, I was able to build a relationship with Coach Ferris. We remembered each other, and then I also visited Duke and camped at Duke going into my junior year. And so whenever I hit the portal, he was actually one of the first coaches to reach out to me the morning that the portal had opened up. And so we kind of just picked up right where we left off. We had a great relationship then, just learning from him at the camps, and then for him to call me as soon as the portal opened up, it meant a lot. And so, especially with me, being a Tennessee guy, having an opportunity to come back home, and then I also had a good relationship with Coach Billerman, offensive coordinator, QB coach. I was able to build a relationship with him throughout high school as well. And so with him being the offensive coordinator, QB coach here at Austin Peay, alongside with Coach Ferris being the head coach, it felt like a great fit. And the conversations that we had, they were great. I was able to come up here on a visit in December, and it felt right. I really wanted to go to a place that had my best interest, somewhere where I knew that I could flourish on and off the field, and become a better version of myself. And since I've gotten here in January, it's been that. So I was confident in my decision back then, and I'm very confident in my decision now, and I'm blessed to be here at Austin Peay.
And then just to hit on week one, that was a huge game for Austin Peay, just this school in general, going off against an FBS opponent. You get the week one start. Did that win? Obviously, we saw that you didn't play the whole game. Austin Smith was able to step in and take over, but you had a bunch of huge throws that got Austin Peay the lead. Do you feel like that win validated anything for you on your journey to Austin Peay?
Yeah, for me, my biggest thing going into the game was, just doing my job to the best of my ability, making sure I'm protecting the ball, and, leading the offense and making sure we were able to put together drives to score touchdowns. And although we didn't play a perfect game, we did what we had to do in order to get the win. And it was big for our program. It was big for our school, our university. And, we left that game really more motivated than ever to continue to keep winning so we could have that feeling every Saturday. And so that's been my biggest goal, going into this season. I don't have any personal goals or anything like that. I really just want to be the best teammate that I can be, lead the best way that I can, and find ways to help this team be successful.
So just to end off today, Chris, where do you want this team to go this year? Both as you as a player and for this team, what are your expectations this year?
Yeah, for me and for some of the captains on the team, we kind of told ourselves we don't even want to put a limit on this team as to what we can accomplish. A lot of players on this team, we're big in our faith, and we always say that whatever God wants to happen, that will happen. And so we just want to every single day just put in the work, making sure we're maximizing our talents, and then we'll be happy with the result at the end of the season.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you so much for joining us. Good luck this year.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Your unforgettable experience. Be a part of a community of champions. There's a place for you in our winning legacy. Feel the synergy of the Governor's Pride. Create memories and victories that will last a lifetime. Your victory starts here.
Welcome back to Tuesday Tailgate. I'm Clayton Carroll, joined by Ethan Schmidt. It's our final show of the season. We've got quite a bit left to talk about. Let's go over some standings here in Clarksville. 6A Region 5 is our first group we're going to talk about. It's the battle for the top. It's Antioch and Clarksville. Your Clarksville Wildcats. You're the wide receivers coach there. It's basically Antioch and Clarksville. They play this weekend.
Yeah, we play on Friday. It should be a good little matchup there. You can see the rest of the region, the way that's kind of panning out. Looks like Rossview, after their real slow start, is going to find their way in there. And then Cane Ridge, obviously, we'll play them in 2 weeks' time. But they should keep that last spot to kind of make it to the playoffs. But 4 teams are going to go. That Antioch game, they are a very, very talented team. I'm very excited to see them in action. They got a really good quarterback. I know we're going to talk predictions here in a little bit, but Andre Adams is really, really good. So I'm excited to see him. But Rossview, man, I told a lot of people, don't be surprised if they sneak into that 3 spot. Because the rest of their season looked really good. They were matching up against McGavick, West Creek, and Overton at the right time, and then they got the win against Cane Ridge too. So really good to see. We'll still have 2 teams from Clarksville in the playoffs, and that's something that last year we had the all Clarksville region. We had 4 teams advance from it. So this year to have 2 teams representing out of the 3 possible in this region is super exciting to see that. And then, of course, that's an age-old rivalry between us and that red school off Exit 8. But ultimately, they've put a lot together. First-year head coach, he's doing a fantastic job of rallying the troops late in there. So all 4 of their wins coming against region opponents. So that's super impressive where they're running at for certain.
Yeah, for sure. Action-packed region there, 6A Region 5. Up next, let's look at 5A Region 7. 5A Region 7, you see Kirkwood topping the standings there, 7-1 overall, 3-0 in the region. They've outscored their opponents 278-91. And also, you know, tied in the region, Henry County also 3-0. Then after that, you've got a little bit of a drop-off, but tell us about 5A Region 7 here.
Yeah, so obviously Northwest, Northeast kind of being at the bottom there. I thought Northeast was going to have a couple more wins in the region, but that's a very tough region. You saw Henry County, what they did against Northwest. Again, Kirkwood, Henry County, that'll be the big game next week in the area. Those two teams will face off for the region championship. Henry County notoriously is really good. Their 3 losses were against 3 ranked state opponents. So that's something you have to keep in mind with Henry County. They're not playing against an easy schedule by any means. I know Dixon, they're still trying to figure things out after they lost their starting running back a couple weeks ago. So that's one of those big issues that Coach T's running down in Dixon. But Kenwood, man, I love to see Kenwood have some success. I remember some really good Kenwood teams that I played against, that I've coached against, I've called on radio back in the day. Malcolm Perry was an absolute dude out of Kenwood. And so to see them be able to kind of have a little bit more an aggressive nature and win those games this year is exciting to see over at Kenwood. But again, another 2 teams out of the possible 4 from this region, from our city, they're going to make it to the playoffs. Again, that's huge for this area when we go into playoff time to have teams playing later on the season. But that Kirkwood Henry County game, it's going to be a much different world than what I think, because playing against Henry County, coaching against Henry County, it is a completely different animal. So to see them come in, or whenever that game, I believe it's at Kirkwood to end the season for them, that's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a really good game to go out and watch if you get a chance to do it.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you gotta love seeing Clarksville represent in the playoffs. Up next, 4A Region 5. Let's take a look at those standings. Marshall County and Spring Hill both 2-0 in the region. Marshall County has the better overall record there. Show us what you see out of 4A Region 5.
Yeah, so Marshall County is notoriously a really, really good program. They've had a couple really good trips in the state tournament once they get there. Spring Hill still one of those really tough schools as well. They're still getting a lot of kind of used to this new region. I'm sure they're fired up to be in it. Creekwood's a really young team. We scrimmage Creekwood every year. It's one of those very first games that we do every single season is to take on Creekwood. And part of the reason why we do that is because they're just such a tough, tenacious group that you want to be able to kind of go up against a team that's going to be physical with you. As for Battle Creek, I don't know much about Battle Creek, but I know those top 4 teams, obviously Montgomery Central down there, they would need a lot here late, and they're a tough region right there.
Yeah, 4A Region 5, our last standings we're going to look at on this week's episode of Tuesday Tailgate. D2 Class A, the middle region. Nashville Christian just, golly, 444 to 130, outscoring their opponents. 8-0 overall. You got Nashville Christian topping the charts there, and then what do you see out of the rest of the standings there?
It's Nashville's Christians to lose. I mean, they have the best player in the state, one of the best players in the country. So Nashville Christian, I don't see them having much issue. Friendship Christian, Nashville Christian could be a really good game. That'll be for the region championship.
So we're going to shift from standings. Now we're going to lead into some games coming up this week. We've got one big one in particular we're going to talk about. You see it there first. That's actually on Friday. Antioch and Clarksville, your Clarksville Wildcats. It's a battle for the region. Let's promo this game.
Yeah, so this is going to be a game that's going to be really fun to watch. Like I mentioned, Andre Adams is one of the best players in the state. I've been watching film on him for the past 2 weeks pretty much, just trying to see what we can do to kind of match their athleticism, what we can see from them. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see that receiver core. I want to see how they match up with us because they haven't really faced a true option team. They haven't seen a team that's going to want to run the football to win the football game. They're seeing a lot of teams who want to throw the ball and match their intensity, where we're not going to do that. We're going to try to have time of possession. We're going to look at running the football. It's what we've always done. It's our bread and butter. It's 119 years of tradition, and it's been run the football since 1906. So, I mean, it's not really something that we kind of stray away from. Like, we want to run the football. And so we'll be able to see how much we can be physical with their physical. But they've got some really good linebackers that can make a play anywhere. They have some really tenacious D linemen that are going to make some plays. Their receiving core is really good. They won their last game 64-62 on an interception on a 2-point play as time expired. And it's actually Andre Adams' little brother, Bugs Adam, caught the interception to win the game. So I'm very fired up to kind of see them come to town and just see what we can match. I think it's going to be a great one. And it's a Friday Night Rivals game, so it's going to be on, I believe it's on Channel 17 this weekend. So you can check that out as well and watch that game as it's live. So that's what we're hoping we can get a really good good outing and put up a good game and hopefully take home our 3rd straight region title.
So as a coaching staff and as a coach, do you frame it as you win the region, or is it just another ball game? How do you go into this game?
So the region means a lot to us because it means if we win the region, we're the 1 seed out of our region. We get at least 2 home playoff games. That's how we have to look at it. So it's very important to win this game. And so that's how we're talking to our guys. But it is week by week. It always has to be, because once we finish playing Antioch, win or loss, we have to turn around and secure that against Cane Ridge. You know, we have to make sure that we get that victory, because we do have the tiebreaker against Rossview. But if they win out, or they play Antioch their last week, so very tough opponent for them too. But still, you have to keep that in mind as it goes through there. But we definitely have to make sure that we take care of that and take care of business this Friday to secure us the right way.
Let's take a look at some of the other games in Montgomery County. You've got Rossview and Nolensville here briefly. Kirkwood at Northwest. Can't talk there.
Yeah, it's
Kirkwood at
Northwest,
Yeah, Northwest, and then Northeast hosts Dixon County. Then you've got Overton at West Creek, Henry County at Kenwood. Montgomery Central travels to Creekwood, and then Clarksville Academy taking on FCA, Friendship Christian. Yeah. So just briefly, what do you see out of those remaining games this weekend?
Rossview-Nolensville will be really nice to see what Rossview does against a pretty decent Nolensville team. They've been pretty good in the past. I'm excited to see what Dixon County does against Northeast. I know Coach Tomlinson knows a lot about coaching against Northeast. He obviously coached at Clarksville High School when I was a student there, and when I played for him, he was my offensive coordinator for a year, so he knows this area really well. Overton, West Creek, unfortunately, both those teams are doing fairly bad right now, so I don't know too much about it. I kind of think Kenwood's going to run some of their Cinderella stories running into Henry County this week. But this could be a winnable game for Montgomery Central against Creekwood. I do think that. I have friends on both those staffs, so I kind of feel like it's one of those hard ones to get pulled from. But Clarksville Academy has a big, tough one as well against FCA.
So up next in the show.
I've heard you're excited about this.
It's time for your favorite segment. You got cooked!
So as you may have heard, this is a very painful moment for me as a Knoxville native, so Ethan Schmidt, take it away.
Yeah, so this put a lot of tears in the town of Knoxville over the weekend. Alabama taking down another ranked opponent, little pick 6. This was a chance, Tennessee had a chance to, if they could have scored here, to really make this interesting, but this kind of was the runaway moment on this pick 6. I mean, it was a 100-yard pick 6, and you know, when you're feeling it, you're in Tuscaloosa too. It's a tough place to play. They know that. This probably could have been a game-saving tackle, but you know, dove at the feet and high step out of it. I mean, unfortunately, there was a couple players from Knoxville looked like they got cooked a little bit on that one, not just.
Oh, there's Miles Kitzelman getting cooked right there.
There he is, getting caught on.
You could also say Joey Aguilar with the throw, entire Tennessee coaching staff with the play call. The entire Tennessee Volunteers in the entire city of Knoxville got cooked on that one. So, well, you got cooked.
Run the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Run the ball.
Exactly. Run the dang ball, Bert. Run the ball. So that is going to be our final Tuesday tailgate show for this season. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. We thank you for listening. For Ethan Schmidt, this is Clayton Carroll. This has been Tuesday Tailgate.